Alright guys, it's Dokkan time again, and we are going to do a how to build Android 13. Now, we're doing a how to build for him because he's getting an EZA. He's not necessarily new. Hopefully, you know, people are already kind of like built him correctly beforehand, but I have a feeling that's not going to really be the case. So his EZA did bring a couple buffs, but it's not going to be very evident right away. So originally 13 he was a pseudo 170 lead. He only gave 130 HP for target Goku and androids. He only had 130% passive. He supported androids. He had guaranteed hits, and he transformed. He had no attack raise or defense raise on super. So he was pretty bare bones. And in all honesty, I just based on this, most people wouldn't really know how to build him through that. I mean, if you went on to the second form and you built him for what he was good at fighting, then you probably might have had a good idea of how to build him. But basically, this guy performs a crit every time you're fighting a Goku unit. He does have attacks guaranteed to hit, and then he gets an additional attack and defense plus 13% per target Goku. Now, the obvious kind of crappy thing about Android 13 is that he has support on the first, on his first state in his base transformation, in his base, but when he transforms, you lose the support, and that doesn't change after EZA. So after EZAing, he's a full 170 lead for target Goku and androids. He has 130% attack and defense, depending on how much HP you have. When you have HP of 30% or more. He does have another attack and defense 130 at minimum. He also gives E plus 3 attack and defense plus 30% to all androids and target Goku enemies, or allies, instead of just androids. It's also androids and target Goku allies. He still has attacks guaranteed to hit, so he's never missing. It doesn't matter if the boss can dodge, he's hitting. He has launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack when there is an enemy whose name is Goku. Now, the crappy thing about this is that means you can't get another stack, which brings us to their super attack, which is raised defense on super. That means he stacks it and causes immense damage and greatly lowers defense with a high chance of stunning the enemy. Now, the transformation condition has not changed. It is absorbs 14 of 15 parts when there are another 2 or more android category allies on the team, starting from the 5th turn. So he doesn't transform in turn 5, which, according to the truth and several other whales, would be the end of the fight. It's not necessarily the case for people that are dolphins or, you know, not rocking literally all rainbow units. You'll probably be about midway, getting close to the end of the fight, though. You'll be getting up to the last phase or so. Unless you're fighting Fusion Zamasu, then you're just doomed. Anyways, so with that, moving on to the Fusion version of him. So when he transforms, he has attack and defense 145 extra if you're above HP 30%. Basically, just never fall below 30% HP. He does also get another attack and defense of 13% per target Goku or android ally. Just depends on which one has more members. Attacks guaranteed to hit and disables guard. Launches an additional attack that is becoming a super attack. Plus an additional attack plus 50 and performs a crit when there's a Super Saiyan's enemy. That's a lot better of a condition than just Goku. Definitely opens up the books a little bit more. This also means that he'll be performing crits against Broly. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Plus an additional attack plus 100% and performs crit whenever there's a Goku enemy. So he does still have that, but now he has a 50% chance of performing crits just by fighting Super Saiyan enemies. So hopefully we're going to start seeing some more super-based content, because this guy could see some good play later. The crappy thing here is he greatly raises attack for 1 turn, and then he has 50% chance to stun. So if you didn't notice, he doesn't have any defense on super here. So that means that the only defense you're getting is from this stacking potential right here in his base form. Now, just going off of that, sorry to say, but you need to ignore anything and everything else and go full additional. Full additional. The difference between only getting 2 stacks and 3 to 4 stacks is just so great. It is so intense, and it is so bad. If you only get 1 super on the only 2 turn rotations you will have him up before he transforms, it just won't be enough. It won't be enough. You need to get 3 to 4 stacks minimum. You have to get the 3 stacks at least. So no matter what, one of the 2 turns that he's up, if he does not get a double super on one of those turns that he's up, you're probably going to be really low on defense. If you magically hit 3 super attacks, then that means you'll be ranging from, I believe, 800k to 1,000,000 defense start of turn. So that's a very good number. Those are very good numbers. I would say he's very reminiscent of Metal Cooler, which is also an extreme AGL unit. It's something to keep in mind. If you get to 4, if you double super 2 turns in a row, or 2 rotations in a row with him, then you'll be looking at 1,000,000 to 1.2 million defense. And the difference is staggering. I mean, really, it is. It's just so absurdly insane. But yeah, start of turn defense, 1,000,000 defense is very rare in this game. It is very rare. There's very few units I can even think of at the top of my head. 23rd World Tournament Goku is the only other one that can hit that. And that's after he's getting hit like 5 or 6 times already. So, I mean, he's still very good. The issue I have with him is that he doesn't gain any more defense after he transforms. It's just whatever he has, or it's the support on the rotation. So, ideally, you run him a full androids, target Goku team, and then make sure he gets his stacks in, and you'll be sitting pretty with him. In all honesty, he's very good. Let's look at his sticker real quick. Hold on, let's look at that sticker. That's a pretty good looking sticker. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not mad about that sticker. What about when he transforms? Oh yeah, no, stickers very worth. Very rare that stickers are actually worth. But yeah, it is definitely full additional. Now, if you want to put crit into him, by all means put crit into him. He's not going to do low damage. He's not going to do absurdly high damage either, though. I think if you put crit into him, you know, he's launching like 8 to 10 million super attacks. You're going to be doing some decent damage. But primarily, he's there for like a good support and kind of very good defensive unit. Yeah, that's probably where I would go with that. I don't know if I would necessarily give him dodge. Perhaps dodge. I just don't know how much dodge will help him. You see, when you have units like this that rely on their just raw defense, you have to wonder if they're going to be able to take some super attacks. I mean, to be fair, with 1,000,000 defense start of turn, there's almost nothing outside of the whole Dismal Future madness. I mean, he's not taking any damage to any boss in the game at start of turn defense. That means even an AoE can't hurt him. This dude tanks Zamasu's AoEs. He tanks them. He tanks those AoEs. He eats them up. He eats them up. But, of course, the super attack is another story. Zamasu launches like 1.4 million supers. So, I mean, unless you quad supered before he transformed, then he's still going to be taking damage. The other issue is this is only after he's transformed. So, meaning that before he transforms, he's sitting well below that 1,000,000 point. I will say that he'll probably be around the 800k range. So he'll still be eating up those super attack or those AoEs. But just definitely not a super attack. Definitely not a super attack. So if you want to avoid the possibility of him getting just broken from a super attack because he has no defense, he has no guard, and he has no damage reduction, you could kind of balance him out with some extra dodge in there. Or if you want to make him just full-on offensive and regardless of the enemy you're fighting, whoops, wrong button. You can also just go ahead and give him crit as well. But the primary way that you build him is full additional. Like, I mean, he needs to have 25 base additional at the very least, or go all the way up to 30 because he has to additional. That is the only way he has defense. Additional. Additional is 100% it. Not to mention the fact that he actually does have crit built into him. So what if you bring him into a Super Saiyan based fight, just putting on additionals to him will just help him. I mean, he's already got launches an additional attack right there. So he could potentially triple crit super after he's transformed if you're fighting a Super Saiyan enemy or Goku. I mean, he could do very, very, very well. He could be very absurd. So entirely up to you if you want to put it into dodge or crit. It's just based on your playstyle. But the primary thing I 100% am saying you have to do is put on full additional. So anyways, guys, let me know what you're going to aim towards. Are you going to aim towards the crit or dodge after you put in the additional? Or are you just not going to care because you're not going to use them? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching and have a good day and a good night.